Hello and welcome to the most unsweeted makeup tutorials. In this tutorials, we're going to be taking this beautiful dark skin model from this to this, like as you can see on the screen. So we created this beautiful bridal look, like a classic soft bridal look for this makeup, and I filmed it for you guys to see. So if you're interested, let's just dive right in. So to begin, I'm cleaning the face with the micellar water. This is from La Vida Beauty. That's the micellar water I use to clean the face, because you have to always have a clean face to work on. So don't go into the skin with product on a dirty skin without cleaning the face. So after cleaning the micellar water, I like to hydrate with my green tea hydrating spray. This is the Kiss Beauty green tea. So I like to use that as my hydrating spray. I blend that in with the brush, then use the mini fan to make sure it dries into the skin. And you guys, while prepping the skin, always remember to prep the lip, because the lip is also part of the skin. So when I'm done with that, I went into the skin with the serum. This is a Zaron hydrating serum. I love to hydrate the skin when I'm doing makeup, because after hydrating the skin and the hydration is done very well, like when the skin is well hydrated, whatever you're placing just sits properly, because this is like you bringing the skin alive. And we're working on a dry skin model. That's why we use the Moisture Bomb from Miss Metic. This is an oil-based moisturizer. So always know the skin type you are working on. So this is a hydrating primer. This is from Nuban Beauty. It's not mattifying at all. She has a dry skin, so we don't need a mattifying primer on her skin. So I use this all over the skin, on the T-zone, and I focus on the T-zone and just blended the excesses into her skin, avoiding directly under the eyes. Even though it's a hydrating primer, you guys, you don't want to get anything other than moisturizer or an eye cream under the eyes. So to be on the safe side, I just use my power seal to control the oil on her T-zone, just just to be on the safe side. Usually I do this before my primer, but this primer I'm using is not mattifying, so I don't want the primer to soften the power seal. So moving on, I'm using my foundation from Nuban Beauty. I'm using these two shades as seen. I'll try as much as possible to list this in the description box. So this foundation looked a bit lighter when I applied it, but I'm blending. It's just going into the skin. So know your products and know how it reacts. So this product, this Nuban Beauty oxidizes, and when it oxidizes, it gets a little bit darker, and that's just basically what all makeup product does. So just know your product and know how to work around it. So when applying your foundation, just apply with your brush downwards and use the beauty sponge to blend in. For my Nuban Beauty, I don't use a brush to blend in because it's not a mattifying foundation. So using a beauty blender just works better for me. So for her blush, I'm using this Nuban Beauty blush in the shade Topaz, and I'm mixing it with this foundation because I don't want it to be so pink on the skin. I just want it to, give me that warmth on the skin, just for it to flush into her skin properly. When using this Nuban Beauty blush, I don't like going directly with the full pink. It's just too pink for me. So this is just it. This is what the blush looks like. So to contour her skin, I'm using Nuban Beauty in 049. That's the concealer, and that's the jacket concealer. So as you can see on the skin, her contour line is already showing. So what you're just basically doing is intensifying her features, not like creating a features that she doesn't have. So the idea of makeup is intensifying the features of the skin of the face, like the structure of the face. So just like a beauty enhancement, just to enhance the features, that's the word. So I just do that, just very little. I don't like packing product when I am working. Makeup for me is just beauty enhancement, so I don't pack products. There is actually no need, especially when the person has like a good skin. So for highlighting her skin, I use a Nuban Beauty in 043, and I think in the shade 045. I mix the two shades because the 043 was going to be too light and the 045 was not going to highlight her skin properly. So I like applying this with a fluffy brush. This is an animal hair brush I'm using to place this on the skin. So I place it all over the skin where I want to blend, where I want to highlight before blending out. When working with Nuban Beauty, please just blend as you go, because me, I'm really fast with blending, so that's why I just feel very comfortable applying all over the skin before I start blending. But Nuban Beauty foundation dries out really fast. It's not a cream concealer concealer, sorry, I said foundation. It's not a cream concealer, so it dries out really, really fast. So when you're blending, you're either very fast or you just blend as you go. But I'm very fast to blend in, so I don't, it doesn't dry up by the time I'm ready to blend. So when blending, please just gently take it easy. You're not fighting with the face. Just take it easy and blend from the outer corners of the face for going into it, just like from the demarcation. So after blending, I like setting first with a pressed powder. So doing that, I'm using my Nuban Beauty pressed powder in 04. This is in the shade 04. And when doing this, I like taking very little products because I am going to still set with a setting powder or a translucent powder. So if you pack so much products during this process, it's just going to be so heavy under the eyes and it's not going to look nice. Under the eyes needs to be really, really light and beautiful, lightweight. So to set under the eyes, I'm using Nuban Beauty conf- sorry, Nuban Beauty setting powder. I think this is in the shade mustard. Yeah, that's the shade. Is it mustard or custard? It's either custard or mustard. I will check and I'll try to leave it in the description box. But they have just one shade that is that's tart. So it's either custard or mustard. So I picked very little quantity with my beauty sponge and I'm using it to set under the eyes. And before you place the beauty setting powder, please blend under the eyes before you place the setting powder. Before you do anything under the eyes, please make sure you blend just to avoid that creasing. So I'm just basically setting every part of the face where I highlighted, and now I'm trying to just intensify the contour. See what that setting powder did to the contour. It just structured her face in such a way that it's just giving follow come, that's just the word. So in this look, or for this look rather, I didn't do nose cream nose contour, so I'm just using my powder to just warm the nose. And in doing that, I'm using my Nuban Beauty press powder in number 9, and also the forehead area just to bring the face together. I am also intensifying the contour, and doing this I'm using very little quantity. You guys, I keep saying this, don't pack products, don't pack products, don't pack products. For all over her face, I'm using the Nuban Beauty, the Fenty Beauty powder in 440 to set all over her face. That's her powder shade. And doing that, taking just very little quantity, and I'm barely like touching the skin with the brush because you don't want to be harsh on the skin, especially when you're at this stage. So for the eyes, I'm using my Haga and Esther brow gel in ebony as my eyeshadow base because I'm going to be doing a dark base. So there is no need starting. I'm going to be doing like a dark eye look kind of. So there's no need starting with a light base. And this is the eyeshadow palette I'm using. The Color Studio. I don't know where you can get this anymore. I don't know if it's still in Nigeria, but I think you can get from AliExpress or Amazon. I really don't know. So to begin, I'm using the purple from the eyeshadow palette as my transition, and I went ahead with this coffee shop from Juvia and I placed that on the lid. I'm using a brown from the eyeshadow palette from the Juvia's Place coffee shop eyeshadow palette, and whatever I do on this eyes I do on the other eyes as well. So after doing that, I'm now picking a very light shade of brown from the Juvia's Place eyeshadow palette to blend the demarcation. That's the demarcation between the brown and the purple. So I took like a darker eyeshadow on the outer corner of the eyes. Doing that, I'm using like an animal hair fluffy brush because this part you don't want to use synthetic brush. And of course, trust me, it's almost always smudge under the eyes when I do like a dark base. So smudging under the eyes, please always take it easy so you don't put the brush in the eyes of the client or the model, because trust me, they are going to start tearing up. So this is me using my Fenty Beauty powder to just seal out the demarcation. Make sure I just faint the parts that has purple a little bit so it just sits into the skin. So I'm currently using my pigment glue. This is from Sylvia Mac Beauty to do as a pigment glue. This is for my eyeshadow, like a shimmery eyeshadow. That's what I use for my shimmery eyeshadow. So I blend that properly and I picked a gold from my eyeshadow palette. This is not a pigment or a glitter. This is like a shimmery eyeshadow from my eyeshadow palette. Went ahead with the pigment glue again, place it on the lid, and this time I'm using a pigment from Inglot. This is my Inglot pigment. So I'm just using this. This is like a pink pigment. So that's just the look I'm just going for, to have like this gold, pink, black, purple. It's just I'm just trying to really pop the eyes. Yes, that's the word. So after doing that, I use like a small brush to just apply black and on the sides of the pigment, the shimmery eyeshadow, just to blend it into the black and make sure there is no demarcation. So for her waterline, I'm using my favorite black charcoal pencil from Mirac. This is like the best pencil in the market, you guys, because using gel liner sometimes irritates the model or the client's eyes and they start tearing up. So for the waterline, no, for the lash line, I'm using my Taylor Cosmetics gel liner on the lash line just to, yeah, of course, I always do that. And I'm just trying to extend it a little bit just to blend it. So for lifting the eyes, I'm using my concealer. I always do this with powder, but on this day I say, let me just use my concealer or my foundation, rather. I can't even remember, but either a foundation or a concealer can work for this. So I just use it to lift the eyes a little bit using my Wing Beauty mascara on the lashes, like natural lashes, before going into it with my false lashes. When using the mascara before false lashes, it just puts the lashes together and also take out the excess fallout from the eyeshadow if there is any. So done with the eyes, I'm just trying to flush the blush into the skin to just, this is just like a finishing touches, and I'm doing that on my V Beauty blush palette, but I'm using a fluffy brush. So when you're doing this, in order not to pack so much product and ruin the beautiful look you've already created, so just take very little quantity. If it's not enough, you can always go back and add, but if it's too much, you cannot reduce. I like to take the excess of my blush to the nose area and also the forehead area. Then moving on to the lip, I did like a nude lip always, which I always do. I started with a brown pencil, my David Brown pencil, lined that properly and went into it with a brush to blend that in. I always like blending in my lip liner because I don't want to have that sharp demarcation. To begin, I with the lip, I use this lip. This is from um a super cosmetic. I use this into, okay, no, this is a cream lipstick from Citi's Beauty lip palette. So I like to use cream lipstick first before going into my matte lipsticks. It just helped me create like a very smooth lip, like smooth and not cracking. So I just blend that in because I was trying to go for like a very really light nude. So I went on top of it with a super lip matte lipstick. This is like a pink lipstick from Sopro, and it's a nude as well. So what I'm just doing basically is blending. I'm using like two different brushes to blend this because I'm blending the nude. I'm also going into the brown to blend it in also. So I took a brown from my Citi's Beauty cream lipstick. So I'm just using it to blend the outer corner so I don't have the nude all over. I'm just trying to, arrange the leaves, bring it together and just make it beautiful. So not to have the nude everywhere and make it look like I did it under darkness. So that's just it. And for the gloss, I'm using this the Girls Corner lip gloss. I think this is like a new lip gloss in the market. I found it at the fair and I rushed it. I just bought it immediately. So I'm using the nude on top of like the nude lip gloss on top of her lip, like inside the inner corners of her lip, and just blend that into the brown. Then I went ahead with the brown. I used the brown on, I just used it to like reline the lip. So I use the brown on the part where I use the brown to line the lip. You understand what I'm trying to say? So that's just basically it. So what I'm doing currently is blending the lip gloss into the other lip gloss. I'm blending the brown lip gloss into the other lip gloss just to make sure I have like the perfect, the perfect lip combo. So this is it. I asked her to smile and I felt like it was not enough. I still went ahead to blend again. So to seal the makeup, I'm using my Nuban Beauty. This is like a setting spray for me. I use it says fixing spray, but it works as a setting spray for me. So I just use my mini fan to dry up the face before going into it with a beauty sponge to just seal everything in and erase the powdery effect. Doing this, I just make sure the skin is completely dry, like 95% dry before I do this. I don't go into it with like into my beauty blender on the skin when the skin is still wet. So for her glow, I'm using the Makeup Revolution. I think this is like the glue palette. So I'm just very little quantity because I don't want to pack product. Also, I use like the pink. I mix it with the rose gold in the palette. So just basically the finishing touches, take the excesses to forehead area, to the chin, and I went ahead with the Supro pink lipstick and sorry pink glow. So I'm just like tapping because I don't want so much. So to intensify the eyes, I still went ahead with my shimmers from the Supro just to intensify the eyes and just make sure everything is in place. So I just asked her to look up and I applied just very little quantity. Next, I'm using the Sorosuke mascara from Nuban Beauty. This is like an instant volume mascara. I love it so much. This is the first time of me using it and I highly recommend. I think I'm going to be using this for a while my Wing Beauty goes on break, and I love the one so much. So you guys, this is the finished look of this makeup. This look is giving every single thing is supposed to give and more. I really enjoy creating this look and I hope you guys enjoy watching as much as I enjoyed creating. If you do, please subscribe to my channel, likes, comment, and I'll see you in my next video.